travel experiences from around the world. Lemnos, the 8th biggest island in Greece with a population of 18,000, lies in the northern part of the Aegean Sea, between Agion Oros, Samothrace, Imbros and Lesvos. It is a volcanic island with a beautiful terrain, as hills and tiny mountains cross its fertile plains and surroundings. Moreover, its characteristic shape forms many beautiful beaches and coastlines. Although we couldn't enjoy the beaches when we visited, the ones I saw and the things other travelers told me about them proved this to be true. I would describe it as a virgin island with a really interesting history, warm and hospitable people, and an ideal destination for relaxing holidays. Me and 7 travel bloggers were invited to the island by Pravlis Travel Agency and Taste Lemnos, a web agency that offers exceptional experiences on the island. The main town and port is called Mina, which was named after the wife of the first king of Lemnos. Mina, which is located in the western part of the island and lies between 2 forts, is the most populated town in Lemnos. It has an authentic traditional style, and it's worth strolling through its picturesque small streets, as well as in the pedestrian area where you will find a marketplace. Two of the most emblematic features of Mina is the Church of St. Nicolaus in the south and the castle, which lies on the top of the mountainous area which separates the 2 bays of the town. The castle was built in the beginning of the 12th century, but was renovated during Venetian rule to look as it appears today. It's worth going up there to take a walk around, as there's an impressive view for taking photographs. During the period of Turkish occupation, the Turks stayed in the southern part of the castle, which is why this area is called the Turkish Coast, as opposed to the area in the north, which is called the Roman Coast. We stayed in Lemnos for only a weekend, but as we were exploring the island all day long, we managed to visit lots of places and experience as many things as we could. On the first day, along with Taste Lemnos, we visited a market called Hima Ketsuvalata, where we tasted local tsiporo, wine, cheese, and other traditional food and drinks. Next, we set off for the area of the Apori, which is a little further down from Kondias village. Here, on a hill with a fantastic view of the Apori Bay full of trees and greenery, we found the Ktima Olon, Aftasi and Rena Laskaridi. In Ktima Olon, which was the first olive grove on the island, we wandered around, tasted their virgin organic olive oil, and also watched the process of cheese production called kalathaki, which means small basket. Leaving Ktima Olon behind, we set off for Kodapuli Village. As Lemnos is famous for the excellent quality of its wine, we visited Ktima Hatzigeorgio, which is a bit outside the village. We were welcomed to the vineyard by Polina, who guided us through the wine factory in order to show us the process of winemaking. Later, we visited the beautiful surroundings, and along with traditional food, we tasted the 8 label wines of the grapevine. After sampling wine and traditional food all day long, we decided to take a break and go for a walk in order to visit another site. We went to a church called Panagia cacaviotisa, and it's one of the few churches in the world that has no ceiling. It took us about 40 minutes to get there, following a rather easy path. It was worth the while because apart from the nice route, you will find yourself surrounded by exceptionally impressive scenery. The church was named after the mountain it lies on, Cacaviotisa. This small church was built around 1305 by monks that lived in caves in the surrounding area. On our way back, we headed towards the southeastern part of the island where we visited St. Sozon. The monastery of the patron saint of Lemnos lies near Therma Village. Our lovely day ended in Mina village, and specifically at Andreas tavern. Once more, we tasted traditional recipes, like the famous cheese pie of Lemnos, which has peppermint and kaspakino goat meat, which is cooked in the oven with rice and kalathaki cheese. You should definitely try it if you visit Lemnos. The next morning, we set off for the sanctuary of Kvarion, a space for spiritual celebrations in honor of the ancient Greek gods. It's an area of great history and has an exceptional view of the northern Aegean Sea. Under the celebration space, you'll find the cave of Philoctetes. This is the place where the Homeric hero lived for about 10 years during the period of the Trojan War. His story is of much interest, and it is worth reading about him. As always, you can find more information about Philoctetes at tripment.net. Leaving the sanctuary of Kvarion behind, we headed towards Kodapuli Village. Here we met Kostadina, the owner of the ceramic art space Lemnos Market, who taught us about the art of ceramics.
Η πόρη παίρνουν άλωμα, το ψήνω για δεύτερη φορά πάλι 980.000 βαθμούς, ίσως και ψηλότερες θερμοκρασίες, λιώνει το άλωμα και κλείνει τους σπόρους. Η Lemnos Market, που είναι στο λόφο Μόσιχλο από εκεί που περάσατε, θεωρείται το πρώτο παγκοσμίως φάρμακο με σήμα κατά τεθέν, γιατί είχε σφραγίδες που αντιστοιχούσαν στη
Lemnos Market, which is a specific type of soil from Lemnos, is long referred to as an element with multiple pharmaceutical qualities. It was believed to have a hemostatic effect, to help with dysentery, relieve stomach ulcers, neutralize snake venom, reduce eye inflammation, and it was also used as an ointment. It was mined in a ceremonial way, from the place that the god Efestia had fallen when Zeus threw him out of Olympus. Leaving Kodapuli behind, we headed towards Efestia, an area in which mining brought to light very important findings from the largest and oldest town of Lemnos. The most significant monument found is the theater, which was renovated and has been hosting events and concerts ever since. Efestia was one of the two ruling towns of ancient Lemnos, and it was named after Hephaestus, who was its protector. Next, we headed towards Gotsina, where we enjoyed a delicious lunch. In Murayo Tavern, among other things, we tasted afkos, which is the traditional fava, as well as a rooster with traditional pasta, called flomaria. On the edge of the island lies a little church called Zordojos Bihi, or Life-Giving Springs, in which we saw the statue of an island heroine, Marula. Next to the church, there is an underground well with 64 steps, which almost leads to sea level. Next stop is Amothinus, or the sand dunes, which are on the northern part of the island, only 3 kilometers outside Kodapuli Village. Amothinus is a deserted area about 70 acres wide, which you have to visit if you find yourself in Lemnos. Local people told us that it is the only desert in Europe. Being in a bit of a melancholic mood, as our time on this beautiful island was coming to an end, we headed towards Therma Village to relax in the healing waters of the area. Here, in these beautiful surroundings, we were welcomed by Sophia, who guided us around the spot, giving us useful information on the history of the area which goes back to ancient years. Lemnos was quite a pleasant surprise for me, a destination that has so much to offer, beautiful sightseeing, flavors, experiences, but above all, the warmth and the smile of its inhabitants.